Good morning, colleagues from the media, and welcome to this media briefing from the Office of the President. And thank you very much for making the time to be with us here. First, I would like to introduce the Honorable Minister of Information and Communication Infrastructure, Honorable Demba A. Jao, the Director of the Department of Information Services, Madam Aisha Davis, our UN consultant who is supporting us at the Office of the President with Communications, Mr. Richard Yuku, staff of the Media Office under the OP, Mafuji, Khadija, and we have our support from our line ministries and institutions like Lamin from the Department of Information, Momodu from the GRTS attached to the office here. These are the team that I can say we can introduce, but you have what we call behind the scene people. And you can see Suleiman, Biran, Munim, Muminun, they're all part of the team. As far as we are here today, I would like to give the opportunity to the Minister to give a few remarks before we start with our actual presentation. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Amy. Well, just as she said, this is the maiden press briefing, and well, we're going to do a lot of this, I can assure you, because there has been, complaints that the government is not communicating much with the people. We've been hearing such a complaint, and this is part of the process of addressing that problem, which had been the complaint of some people. And the objective of this press briefing, I can assure you, is to be, to concentrate more or less, within the Office of the President, because, to be fair to Mrs. Sissoko, she is actually mandated to be speaking on behalf of the President and the Office of the President. So all their questions, please, should be, within that vicinity. That is the vicinity of the Office of the President and the activities of the President. I can, also assure you that we, on our part, at the level of the ministry, we are also very soon going to embark on our own press briefing. And in our case, we are going to do the global bit of it. That is, we are going to, answer questions on every aspect of the government. But to be fair to her, your questions should be concerned about the Office of the President and the activities of the President himself. While in our case, it is going to be a global thing that is going to be concerned about the entire activities of the government. So that is the difference. We are actually working in tandem, with the DPPR, as well as Mr. Richard Uku, who is the advisor on media thing. So we are trying to put up a comprehensive communication strategy in place, so that after that has been done, we're going to, I can assure you, communicate much more better than maybe we are doing at the present. We are trying our level best, but I can assure you we still got a long way to go. So, as soon as we get such a media strategy in place, we will then be in a position to be, interacting more often with you people. This is just the beginning, and the DPPR is going to, do her bit. The objective is to do it on a weekly basis in her case, and then we, on our part, we are trying to do our own, on a monthly basis, because she is going to concentrate within the Office of the President. In our case, we're going to do it on a global level. That is, trying to answer all questions pertaining to the government. So that's the difference. But we have the same objective, and that is to communicate with the people as often as possible and as clearly as possible. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. I think that's a very good introduction into the whole thing. As he already said, we're initiating this press briefing to reflect the President's commitment to a free flow of information to the public, between the public and his administration. This is because he believes in promoting freedom of expression and freedom of the media, which is very important tenet for him, especially as he had already promised during his campaign. He kept his promise by ensuring that through the media team in his office, under his office, and the Ministry of Information, as you have been already informed, will be having regular interaction with the media. These media briefings from the Office of the President and the Ministry will ensure that information regarding the progress of government's development agenda will be shared with the public. Our strategy to improve communications includes strengthening the professional and resource capacity of the media unit of the Office of the President. We're using different platforms to communicate and give visibility to the President's engagements. We already do this by sharing news releases, posting on social media, notably through the @Barrow President on Twitter, and those who are following him on Facebook will realize that on his Facebook page, Barrow PORG page, he is sharing information through that medium also. But we would like to complement these efforts through such interactions we're having with you today. We are aware that Gambians and friends of the Gambia are enjoying the newfound freedom, which we fought hard for and will even want to have more. We want to keep the public informed. These briefings will give highlights of the decisions taken and progress made with their implementations, especially regarding the President. You will be able to follow up with various ministries, both directly and through the Ministry of Information and Communication Infrastructure. We are pleased that the Honorable Minister has been able to give us this support to be present with us today. Thank you very much. Today, we will focus on a number of issues, which I will go through in a moment. But this will be followed by question and answer, a Q&A session. The first thing I would like to talk about is the electricity situation. One of the President's key preoccupations has been the poor electricity situation in the country. This is one of the government's immediate priority areas discussed at even the last cabinet meeting. Decision has been made so that the new government, which has inherited less than 50% of the total installed generation capacity within the Greater Banjul area, can be solved. The generators are old and faulty. We all know about them. So far, NAWEC has rehabilitated 3 of the faulty generators, which have been down for over a year. They are providing an additional 18 megawatts of power at the moment. NAWEC is also currently rehabilitating 3 other generators of a total capacity of 21 megawatts. By later this year, by the end of July, October, and in December. In addition to that, 11 megawatt new generator is expected to be commissioned by the end of the year. Discussions have advanced between NAWEC and the Senegalese electric power provider, Senelec, for a cross-border electrification, where Senelec will supply electricity to most parts of rural Gambia. Similar arrangements will be made for the Greater Banjul area in due course. In the medium term, NAWEC plans to increase its capacity to 120 megawatts by 2020 through public and private partnership. On the formation of a Truth and Reconciliation Commission, a draft bill is now ready for final review by the Ministry of Justice before it is presented to the National Assembly. We hope that we will have a law in place by September so that the Commission can start its hearing by the end of the year. On the think tank, 15 members have been identified, comprising of 9 men and 6 women from diverse disciplines. President Barrow will launch it very soon. A National Development Plan 2018-2021 is being formulated. Cabinet has been briefed on the formulation process. The government has agreed on a comprehensive review of the draft plan to take into consideration the priorities of the new government as articulated in the coalition manifesto and the compact agreed on at the end of the cabinet retreat held last month. On the environmental issues at Gunjur, the government has agreed on an out-of-court settlement with the company. The company will remove its pipes from the sea, support a comprehensive ecological assessment, and restore damage done on the ecology. In addition, the company will pay for testing of the water to know how and why it was affected. On reconciliation in Kanilai, first of all, I would like to say that the death of a Gambian in Kanilai, which was as a result of a confrontation between protesters and economic forces, is deeply regrettable. We express our sympathy to the family of the deceased for their loss. However, we are pleased that calm has returned to the area, and His Excellency encourages all citizens to be law-abiding. The President also sent a delegation to engage the community for reconciliation. He believes that we are all Gambians, and we have the interests of our country which supersedes our own individual interests. Kanilai is an integral part of the Gambia, and the decision for ECOMIC to be based in the country is for national security. On legal reforms, President Barrow has appointed a total of 7 Gambian judges at all levels of the superior courts. This includes the Chief Justice. The Ministry of Justice has also recruited new staff, including a Solicitor General and the appointment of a special advisor to the Attorney General. Institutional reforms are ongoing. The Office of the President has now decongested the President has decongested his office of matters which were handled by various government departments. The Presidency has now returned most of those portfolios to their relevant line ministries. Staff audits are ongoing to clean up the civil service payroll. To promote continued good governance and transparency, all ministers have been asked to declare their assets by the 15th of next month. On the question of returning to the Commonwealth, the government has initiated this process by engaging in direct talks with the Commonwealth Secretariat in London. This is usually a long process, but we are hopeful that the Gambia will soon rejoin this important international organization, which we were part of from independence through to 2013, when the former president ended our Commonwealth membership. Regarding the International Criminal Court, the Gambia government never really left the court. The former government has initiated the process of withdrawal from the ICC. However, the Barrow government stopped the process of the withdrawal. On the appointment of a vice president, as you already know, the President has assigned the Minister of Women's Affairs to oversee the office. I assure you that if there is change in this arrangement, you will be informed. Regarding recent security-related comments in the international media regarding an external threat to the Gambia, our foreign affairs and security authorities have noted it and they are consulting with their international partners. The President urges everyone to work towards keeping the continued peace and stability of the country. And now I'll be pleased to take a few questions. Kindly identify yourselves and the media house you represent. Thank you. Yes.
My name is Abba. I just want to know the level of liberation and still happening by how the level of work and still happening by how soon will you expect the level still happening by?
As soon as the work is completed and he is ready, he is informed about the status, then he will move to the State House.
My name is Sana Kamara. I'm representing the Prime Minister. I'd like to ask when the government will actually be ready, because I think people are eager to find out how the government is going to turn around the economic downwards trend that has been ongoing for the past couple of years.
I am Mustafa Daroy, here for Talking Intelligence. I want to ask, when you've made mention of ministers declaring the assets end of next month, I want to ask whether this would be made public, like they would make it public, not like a declaration to the office of the president, but made public to the ordinary Gambian that this is how much it is done.
You mentioned to the thoughts of the Senegalese foreign minister saying there are some serious threats towards Gambia. Do the office of the president have any idea what he was referring to? And if yes, is that linked with the border with Casamance? Is that linked with the border of Casamance, which is maybe not secure?
I'm Mujara from GRTS. Concerning the Gunjur issue, you said the government has agreed on an out-of-court agreement with the said company. The company has agreed to the testing of the water. Is that all about this entire issue? Are they going to pay any financial compensation to the government or the communities that have been affected by this environmental hazard?
Answer these questions and then conclude. Okay. When will the National Development Plan be ready for the public? As I said, already there is the draft and there are recommendations that are coming from the cabinet retreat, which will happen last month, as well as putting it in line with the manifesto. Also remember that the National Think Tank is going to be launched very soon, and they will be part of the team that will also validate that information before it is available to the public. With regards to whether the minister's assets will be declared to the public, that is something I'll have to get back to you on when we have the policy direction on that. I've not been informed about that aspect, but they have been already assigned, and I think the date has already been set for them to declare the assets. Regarding the threat, whether the Office of the President is aware of it, no, the Office of the President is not aware of any of the threats that you have mentioned. However, because the information has been in the media, the government has taken note of it, and the President assigned the relevant authorities to go and follow up on that information and to be able to brief him. Whether government will pay to the company will pay to government or the community, as far as the information I have is concerned, That is, they have agreed out of court settlement, and they will pay for the assessment that needs to be done, and to assess the damage that has been done, and also pay for the testing of the water to ensure that they get the right information as to what led to that. So, and they have also agreed that they will remove all the pipes they have installed inside the sea. Okay.
With regards to the electricity supply in the country, I think my complaint mentioned that the new generators are connected. How soon? Because I'm looking at the situation in the country. We have the influx of investors coming into the country, and people are worried about the trade in the country. So how soon do you think these generators are coming, and also how soon are we returning to the Commonwealth?
The first part regarding the generators, I said that 3 have been repaired among the old ones. Already supplying. Those who are aware of the situation will realize some slight changes. But also, they have promised that by the end of July, we will see another incremental progress on this issue of supply, because they are working on other 3 generators separate from the ones that are already operating right now. And that will increase by end of July, then end of October, and by the end of the year. Regarding the new generator, they said end of the year. The Commonwealth, as I said, is a long process, but because there is goodwill for the Gambia and appreciating the situation we are, they are considering to fast-track the process for the Gambia to return as soon as possible.
I want to know when the President Barrow will make a state opening of the National Assembly, because I understand that the National Assembly, they have already said their different committees, so the public will want to know when he's going to open the state opening, so that the National Assembly members can start their work. Yes.
Thank you very much. My name is Esaso from GRS Radio. Certain products of society have raised concern on the issue of appointing a vice president. And you have said that the president has appointed an overseer. And you said if the situation changes, the public will be duly informed. I want to know how soon will the situation change, taking into account the significance of that office. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I want to ask I want to basically draw your attention to something that you have been familiar with yourself in the past, that's the fight against FGM, human genital mutilation. After the government changed, there were, because the laws against FGM was instituted by the former president, there were some opinions in some parts of the country that because it's a Jambe law and Jambe so much despised in their communities, it should not, they should not respect it. And we activists are now claiming that that has, contributed to a return of the practice in a very disturbing trend. So I want to know what is President Barrow's position on FGM. Does he think FGM should be banned, and is he ready to make clear statements on his position on FGM to the Gambia?
A quick follow-up, please. Regarding the threats, external threats, I think we have an institution responsible for assessing those kind of threats, like the intelligence. Since the Gambia is unaware of something that our foreign partners are saying is real, are you admitting that there is an intelligence failure in terms of operations? Because we already have an institution dedicated to assessing this kind of things against the country.
Okay. About the Garden port, the port. Is there any plans to make it private, or at least to make private investors invest in that port? And if yes, there has been some proposal from border reform, is that confirmed or not?
Thank you very much. Regarding the state opening of Parliament, it will soon happen. There is work going on with regards to that. With the appointment of the Vice President, as I said, if the decision has changed, or the arrangement that is going on right now, which is the assignment given to the Minister of Women's Affairs to oversee the office, if it changes, we'll let you know. And the public will really definitely be informed about that. On the issue of FGM, I think if you've been following the news, you will realize that some time ago, development partners like UNFPA and UNICEF, regional directors, were in the country with their national counterparts, and they came to visit the president. And the issue of traditional practices such as FGM and early marriage came on with in their discussion. The president made it clear that a law is a law, but the government will always review laws that are not positive to the society, and will maintain all positive laws that are for the benefit of the citizens. So this is very clear, because he even went further to say that health implications of FGM has been shown as evidence why the practice is harmful to women and girls. So if you follow that press release and the discussions that were held, you will have realized that his position, he has made it public through that discussion that was held. And the issue of the law, whether it was Jammeh's law or the law, is the law of the Gambia. And the Gambia is the nation, the state that is bigger than any individual. If there is a law, unless it is repealed, it stays a law. And whoever violates that law, you are violating a law that is already in place. With regards to intelligence failure, there is no intelligence failure because the information has not been validated by the national authorities, and the findings they have so far has not indicated that. That is why they have been assigned to consult and further discuss with the international partners to find out where they got that information and what the threat is like. With regard to the ports, whether it will be privatized or not, as far as we are concerned at this point in time, a decision has not been taken to say that the port will be privatized. What is being promoted is to have public-private partnership to expand the port and to work towards the progress of rehabilitating and bringing in, making it upgrade the current port situation we have, to upgrade it as well as expand it. That discussion is what is being thrown around with partners, both for public-private partnership to continue. So far, this is what the situation is. There are many partners who are coming. There are many partners. So we don't want to specify how many and which ones, but I know that a lot of investors are coming on, and some of them, their interest is in the area of the port. Yes?
Thank you very much once again. The President has publicly said he's a believer in press freedom, and we must acknowledge the fact that in recent times the situation of journalists has changed and the issue of press freedom has changed. But we know the laws that persecuted journalists over the years are still there. I want to know, in as much as the President has verbally said he is a defender and believer in press freedom, how soon does government want to reform the laws that are in place that have restricted or made the work of journalists difficult over the years?
I think that was the right person is here to respond to that. But as we said, the restriction of this discussion is about the presidency and the decisions that are being those decisions. Remember that there is an overall reform taking place in the country in different institutions. There are legal reforms, the communication aspect, different aspects are being reviewed. to look at what is appropriate in this day and age in line with the principles of promoting democracy and the human rights of our citizens. So basically, all the sectors are looking into their areas and the necessary reforms that needs to be done there. I'm sure when you have the opportunity with the minister, he'll be able to give you more details as to how far they're going with those reforms. Mm-hmm.
I want to add one more.
Mm-hmm.
Recently, after, in fact, even after the government changed, I was very much keen on progress in the food areas. Even perhaps when the coalition have been taking over had set up a civilian police team to go there and talk to people. But even after that, there were issues of attacks, retaliations from both persons and political divide, especially between the classes of and workers. I want to know if the president does this concern the president? Because there are claims that he has failed to assure of protection that they bring upon the man. Does it concern the president? Does he agree that he has failed in some ways to, for instance, assure them either in before the delegation of public trust of security or safety, also the economic.
Okay. Yes, okay. Mm-hmm.
Public will be interested in what the details of these discussions was when, for example, when Honorable Mahakani was squeezed, just like they discussed a lot of things. But I think discussions of such magnitude are very important for the public too. Does the President has anything to reveal or tell the public about the discussions with these political leaders?
Thank you very much. Regarding Fonyi, I would say no, the President has not failed the people of Fonyi. Even before he was elected, he went to Fonyi during his campaign and held meetings there to show that we are all Gambians. He even went further to reveal his relationship with people of Fonyi, where he expressed the relationship between where his sisters are married to Jolas, his nieces and nephews are Jolas. I think that expressed his commitment to all Gambians. He went further to express his relationship with all other ethnic groups in the Gambia. I think that's one step to show that even before he took power, he was interested in reconciling all people of this country, much more talking about the people of Fonyi. That's one aspect of it. After, when the first initial disturbances took place in the Fonyi between political rivals, delegations were sent to Fonyi, Kanilai in particular, so that they talk to the elders, they understand that change has come, and it is the Gambians who have decided. They should be part of that change because the president is the president of every Gambian, and he's the one responsible for all Gambians and non-Gambians staying in the Gambia. Therefore, they should have that understanding that change has taken place and governments come and go, but the state of the Gambia stays. Furthermore, after the incident where a life was lost, he even sent another delegation to further consult the communities and engage them for dialogue and to ensure that there is reconciliation. And this will be linked to the question Diallo asked about political leaders coming to see the president. Halifa Sallah, if you will all, I think you are all aware, is an advisor to the president. And he was also here to discuss with the president the issues of security and the circumstance to create reconciliation in Kanilai. regarding Honorable Mama Kande, equally came to discuss various issues that are all part of the national development issues. That is why when you ask him the questions, he told you we discussed a lot of issues and a lot of areas. There is no one specific area. They look at different forms of different issues affecting our national development, how we can work together as Gambians to move our agenda forward. I think these are, yes? Can we go?
The frozen of the assets. Is the president concerned about what will become all the people working? I'm thinking, for instance, for Canadian Bakery or the abattoir of Abuko. There are hundreds of people working for these firms. So, what are they going to become? The assets remain frozen.
This is a national issue, and you are all aware that they are working on those investigations to know who owns what. President owns. If things that are under his name are part of the state assets, then obviously they are going to be state assets. Whoever is affected in that, you will be part of that process. However, what is important right now is to get the facts, and that is what is the most important thing. Get the facts as to who owns what, and then the decisions of the findings will be the ones that the recommendations coming from the findings is what will determine what will happen to who and what. I think also if you have been following the website, we have been making efforts to ensure that we post information about his engagements, especially daily engagements. I'm sure you are aware of that and you are part of that process. Maybe you are doing the devil's advocate, which is good. But the important thing is that most of the interactions and his engagements are put together to make sure that daily we supply the information. And we have not even stopped at making sure the information is just put in our website. What has been done, I think, if not the first time, but it must have been latent for a long time, where information coming from the Office of the President is provided to not only local media houses, but to online media newspapers and radios, which are considered, as far as the Office of the President is concerned, as part of the Gambian media. Reason being that most of them are owned by the Gambians, and they are also targeting Gambian audience. So therefore, if there is information coming from the State House, it should reach out to all sectors of the Gambia, whether they are online, local media, and whatever form of media is available. And we all know that in this day and age, you cannot deny that online media has influence in this country and everywhere in the world. Therefore, it is important that information that is available from the State House, once we are able to validate any information, be sure that it will reach the media. And if it reaches the media, whether it's social media, traditional media, or any other form of media that is available to us, be sure that the public will know about that. Can we take a few more questions, maybe 2 questions? Time is against us now.
With regards to the staff of the and is a concern to the Gambia. Because many are saying that the staff, some institutions are overstaffed. Are you going to, is the government going to make any retrainment? And if there is retrainment, what are the compensations for the people?
Right now, I told you that staff audit is going on. It is the outcome of the audit that will determine what should happen to anybody who is affected. So I cannot tell you what will happen right now because we don't even know what the results will be and the outcome of that meeting. Also, I would like to inform you that when we talk about staff audit, it will also help the government in deployment and ghost staff that have been in existence, and to be able to know outright what is in reality is available so that we can be accountable to the institutions we are working for to ensure that the names that are on the payrolls are actually people who exist and they deserve those salaries they are earning. Maybe also to inform you, if you are already not aware, that there's a lot of staff deployment, redeployment from different institutions going on. I've been informed that the Inspector General of Police will be deployed to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and a new Inspector General will come in, and also the Deputy will also be replaced, and at the Department of Immigration, the Director General, as some of you already know, will be replaced by the Acting Director General. So these are some of the developments I've been informed about before I came in. And also I've been informed that the government, in terms of fertilizer, has reduced the price to $700, and the Gambia Groundnut Council will be the one, it will be available in all their outlets throughout the country. A similar arrangement is being made regarding groundnut seeds also for this year. And the hatch package for 2017 has also been reduced. So I'm sure the line ministries will give you the details. As I said, my role is to inform you about the major decisions that have been that has taken place. Thank you very much. I'll take the last one.
You mentioned about the police changes at the police, at the immigration. Is that leaving out the issue of the intelligence, the SIS? Because we are all
what
aware.
I have been informed right now is that information I have provided you. If I have
the allegations made by the legal advisor of SIS as to the reluctance of the new director or the director to implement reforms that have been promised by the presidency.
Information regarding all reforms are being reviewed, and as long as there is decision taken, you'll be informed. Thank you very much for coming, and I thank you for your questions, and hope that we'll have more interactive sessions like this that will enable the public to enjoy their right to know, but also the responsibility of the state to be accountable to its citizens. Thank you very much. If it is even necessary less than a week, and there is something important necessary for us to call the press briefing, we'll do it. If it is necessary to go beyond a week, we'll still go by what is feasible. But the intention is to keep it weekly, and maybe if we are going to do it weekly, we'll choose a particular date and time so that it becomes a regular program.